Hey everyone, well, I'm back. It is December the 11th, 2022, and it has been about a week and a half longer than I wanted to come on here. Sorry. It was just a busy time. We had an unforeseen thing happen with our company, and it's just been a trying time right now. So I'm a little late on getting this going. I did not stitch at all this month, except for yesterday. And when I get done with this, I'm going to stitch a little bit. I need to make some dinner too, because that's going to be, I don't know. It's supposed to be my leftovers for work tomorrow. I might just do something else. I'm too tired. I'm too tired to cook. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. So on Tuesday, I attended my friend's mom's memorial service. She lost her dad during the spring. And then she lost her mom. So I went to that. And then the next day I went to work, and I was exhausted because I was at work the day of the memorial service. I asked if I could get off a little earlier than everyone else, but I'd still get my work done. And my boss like, oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know, you need to go to that. So I went directly downtown to that, went directly to her parents' place and stayed there for a little while, and then came home, and I was just so tired. I went to bed early. Got up and went to work, and a couple hours into it, right after breakfast was almost done, our vice principal came in to talk to our manager, and that's when we found out that one of our head people, she's been there, she's like the assistant manager, kind of. She's been there for years. She was killed in a car accident the day before. Like, we still can't even, I can't even process it. Like, yeah, we were in shock. She was the only fatality. It was just a freak accident. You know, there was no citations, no arrest. It wasn't a drunken driver or anything. It was just a freak accident, and she was the only fatality. And it's been hard. I can't even fathom. She was the engine that kept the train going. She always, no matter what, she was always like, I have you back, you know, I got your back. If any major event happened, you know, we would talk. We were talking for the last couple of days about, oh, this happened and she was right there. That happened, she was right there. She always, you know, when it came right down to it, she would make decisions that we'd be like, what? But if something happened, like if someone came into the cafeteria, any cafeteria with any manager, and they said, we need you to do this and this and that. Yeah, that can't work. Well, we need to make you need to make it work, and walk away. We would just, whoever it was would say, I'm calling Nancy. And she'd be like, yeah, I'll deal with that. Don't you worry. I got that covered. She always did. One of my former coworkers, I talked to her on the phone. She called me and she goes, oh, I can't even believe it. She goes, she just called me a week ago. She was calling me every week asking me, how you doing? Is everything okay? You know, do you need anything? And she goes, she just talked to me a week ago. And I'm like, yeah, I just saw her probably the week before that. And she talked to me. And because I was dropping paperwork off, and it was getting right towards closing time, and I was like, oh, I hope the door's not locked so I can put it in our slot thing there. And it wasn't. And when I came out, she had come out of the side door, and she was heading to her car, and it was pouring down rain. She had the umbrella. I had my hood up, and she stopped me just to make sure I had made it in the building okay and it wasn't locked, because she would have opened it for me. That's That's who she was. And I'm like, nope, the door's still open. Thank you. I got it. It's all right. And then we joked about the weather because it was sunshiny and then it started raining. But then we took off and I'll never see her again. Like it's been difficult. So my mind has just been all over the place and just heartbroken for her dad. She adored her dad. She told me one time, she said, my dad is my superhero. I want to grow up to be like him. And she adored her daughter. She had one daughter she raised on her own. And yeah, she loved her family and she loved the kids. That's why she was 67 and she just kept at it because she just loved to make sure the kids got fed. And if she could tell us anything, she would say, just keep feeding the kids. That's what this is about. You need to make sure you keep feeding the kids. She would tell us all the time, if you see a child that's hungry, and they're coming to you saying, I know I had one, but I'm really hungry, and you can see that they really are hungry, give them another one. She goes, I don't care if you can or not, just give them another one. And we have. So, we have witnessed kids digging in the garbage can for any food, and we make the staff aware of it. It sounds heartbreaking, I know, but that's, it happens. And we become very aware, we pay attention. And my coworker, she was hot on it, and she's doing something about it. So, it's something Nancy always instilled in us, so we're very sad over our loss of this. And my new coworker had went by the intersection shortly after the accident happened. They were detouring everybody. The detour went on for like 5 hours, and she said she saw the car. She'd never met Nancy. She just started a little over a month ago, and Nancy wasn't in the office, I don't think, at the time. So she didn't have an opportunity to meet her, so she didn't know her. She didn't know her car. Nancy had just gotten a new car. And even if she had met her, she probably wouldn't have known her car. And she said she was being detoured, and when she went around where they were directing them, she said she saw the car, and she said the car was in pieces everywhere. And she said she thought, oh my gosh, that person had to have died. She had no idea. She's like, I didn't know it was one of us, one of our people. So yeah, that's just been it's been in our hearts and our minds, and I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for the district. I'm heartbroken for the company. They're scrambling now. They're spreading her work around on top of just them dealing with the fact they won't see her walk into that building because she worked in our main office. So, yeah. So I'm a little late, but, it's understandable. I haven't stitched. But I'm starting to again. It does bring me some peace, so, yeah. My thoughts are just with her dad and her daughter and everybody that was in her family. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and get my mind around what I want to show you so I can get this video out because it's Sunday. Tomorrow is the beginning of the last week before winter break. Yes. Very excited. But tomorrow I'm leading the kitchen because my manager is off for not a procedure, but something medically she has to do at home. It's going to take a whole day, so she took it off. So I will be there, and then I just had a coworker call, and we discussed it, and he felt more comfortable staying at home, but he's got pink eye. It's like, yeah, buddy, you stay at home. It's all right. At first, I'm like, well, let's see what we can do. And then finally, he's like, would you call me? And I did. He says, I feel more comfortable about staying home. So I'm like, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Hopefully they can send me a sub. If not, we're in trouble. But I've got this. So I have that to look forward to, but that's one day, and then the rest, boss lady will be there, and we'll get that place shut down and have our break. And look out, cross stitch, because I want to get some stuff done. I'm very excited about it. So I'm going to show you my FFO real quick. I do have another one that I might record and stick at the end. It is over there, but it's kind of big to try and bring over with everything else I have. So I'll try and stick it at the end of this video. So this here is my Lizzie Kate. This scarecrow was something I've had for quite a few years from Hobby Lobby. I just got this with a whole pile of fall decor that are leaves and sunflowers, corn. I'm sure you've all seen them. I got them 90% off. And then I just made that bow. So that is done. And this will get stored away. And this will be ready for the next one. I thought that I had all of them, and I don't. I just have this one, and I have the summer. And it's fully kitted up. I just, I don't know if that's going to stay. I just need to order the other two. I have them on my 1, 2, 3 stitch in my cart for that. I just got to order it. My Chihuahua is snoring. All right, now I will show you my FOs. So this one here, let me show this to you real quick. This is one that I finished last month. This is that broom closet, and it's all done. The working copy I tossed. I didn't think about it, and I tossed it. I'm reorganizing this room. But it is done, so happy about that. All right. So last video, I showed you all my FOs. That was my autumn. So this is going to be my winter one. This is my winter box. Lid's upside down. So this here is a freebie. I think it's Snowflower Diaries. I don't recall. If you want to know more, I'll go ahead and get you that info. I picked out my own colors for it. But if I remember right, it was very close to what it was called for. This is a 28 count. I think it was Hirschner's, if I'm right. They went out of business, and I coffee tea dyed it. This here was a freebie. You may have seen this already from a long time ago. I think somebody sent this to me when I ordered off their Etsy shop. It was supposed to be for my husband. I was going to turn it into something like a round finish. This is a 14 count, I think, DMC blue. Don't quote me. This is Brooks Books Animal Advent Calendar freebies. I thought this one was done, but I forgot. I got to do the border. But other than that, it's done. Super cute. This is Snow Village from Country Cottage Needleworks. This is done on a 32 count linen, the called for fabric. I'm not sure what it calls for. I just had Crazy Annie's ship me the chart every month and then the fabric. And then I got all of the Classic Colorworks all in one order. There wasn't a lot that it called for. And then it does call for DMC that I kit up as I'm planning on stitching the next one. This is Country Cottage Needleworks Cottage of the Month, done on a 28 count piece of fabric that I got from the craft store. I don't recall if it's Hirschner's or not. You all right? She's coughing in her sleep. 28 count black. This is when Hands On Design collaborated with Priscilla Blaine, Winter Chalkboard. I picked my own colors on this, but I matched it up the best I could with what they had picked out because I really liked it. Super cute. I loved stitching on that. Oops, I was pretty addicted to that chart. This is Country Cottage Needleworks Santa's Village, done on a Hirschner's 28 count white that I coffee tea dyed. This is Poinsettia Place. This is Santa Claus. Not sure the exact name. Mrs. Claus and her cookie shop. That's as far as I got. This is 28 count sagebrush from Under the Sea Fabrics. This is For Snowfall, I think, from Country Cottage Needleworks or Little House Needleworks. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. Everybody was doing this with Priscilla and Chelsea, their hashtag. Hashtag Pete. I can't remember what the initial was. For Snowfall. I don't remember what the hashtag is now. This is a Hirschner's 28 count. And the chart is out of 3 issues of Cross Stitch and Needleworks magazine. I was showing this in my other videos, but I don't remember when I totally finished it. But it is done, and I absolutely love this. I really need to fully finish this. I just don't know how I want to do it. Like, I love this piece. I loved stitching it. I loved looking at it. And I did change it up because the red was supposed to be this tan color that was not going to show up because of the fabric. So I did it in red and the green. I love this piece. So much. So much. And here it is, almost Christmas. I've got to get it fully done. These 2 that I have left are very old. I'm sure I have already shown them. I think this came out of a magazine, but don't quote me because it was too long ago. This was done on an 18 count piece of white fabric from the craft store. Who knows what craft store? Oh, I do. Fabric Depot in Portland or Clackamas. And I got it off of a bolt of fabric. My husband bought me a couple of yards of that. And then this one, okay, was, I'm sure, I don't even know. It was probably out of the magazine. But this had to have been my 2nd or 3rd cross stitch. Because look at that. 1992. My son was born in 1990. I started cross-stitching when he was 2 years old. So this had to have been like my 2nd or 3rd project. Again, too long for me to remember. I'm almost 55. That was 30 years ago. So I don't remember if I told you I was a 30-year stitcher last video. I feel like I was telling people I'm a 20-year stitcher. Well, my son is 32. Why would I say I'm 20-year stitcher? If I did, then my calculations were totally off. Which is not surprising because at the end of the day, my brain doesn't work anymore. But, no. I'm a 30-year stitcher. That's how old this is. So, yeah. 30 years. Can you believe that? I just can't even. And I finished it. I know. You saw how close to the edge, but I had a plan. People. My plan was to put it, and this was what people were doing back in 1992. I was going to get this plexiglass, right? And that's why I already pre-cut it. Don't even ask. I don't know what I was thinking. So I already pre-cut it. I was going to sit on the plexiglass. Set another plexiglass on top of it, and I was going to glue it, and I needed to find a glue that was going to be dry clear. So that way when my toddler was toddling around, and if he spilt something, it wouldn't matter. It was protected. Well, you saw how far I got. So I'd still like to do it just for nostalgia. We'll see. It's been 30 years and I haven't done it yet. All right. Now, this is what I am... Okay, this is what I was stitching on, and this is what I will be stitching on. So the month of November, I worked on Rainbow Galleries freebie, and I worked on November. And my goal is to get these two, and then these two finished by the end of this month. And I didn't start off very well since I have not stitched since last night, and I didn't stitch a lot last night. About ready to make up for that. All right, this is as far as I got. I started questioning the color I picked for the border, but yeah, I'm fine with it. Changed my mind. All right, that's what I stitched on, and that's what I'm going to stitch on. And then this one. This one I stitched on a little bit last month. Not a whole lot because Broom Closet I spent a lot of my time on to finish. So this is the one my former coworker gave me that I want to finish. And I've already started on it. And it's actually a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. And I think I'm going to have it done sometime this week. Because she stitched a lot already for me. Well, it wasn't for me, but it is now. This is 28 count. I'm sorry, 14 count. And here it is in its entirety. And what I did was I finished all that up. She had a little bit on there, and I finished the rest. I came down here and joined where Sharon had ended. And then I'm back stitching as I go. So tonight, I finished this up yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I need to back stitch this color. This one doesn't. All the dark ones don't get back stitched. I'm going to back stitch the hearts, back stitch this. Then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to back stitch that little bit of blue it calls to back stitch, the heart, this blue, and then all of this. So that's my goal. I hope to be able to get that stitched by tonight. It is 5:15 in the evening. And this week, I would like to get the rest done by the middle of the week. Because the biggest part I have to do is just that heart. And not everything in the heart gets stitched. So that's what I have going so far this month. And then I have to do this one. The Welcome is one of my last whip goes for 2022. And this is the next one. If I get these two done for whip go this month, I will have completed whip go for the whole year of 2022. Not kidding. I'm so excited about it. So, Halloween calendar. And I have upside down. That's all right. It's all right. Here we go. It's a tiny modernist. So if I get that done by midweek, then I'm going right into this. This is a 28 count, I think like sky blue, I believe. Something summer blue, something like that. And here I am. So my goal is 500 stitches, and it's going to be Happy Halloween is what I'm going to do. If it does not complete 500 stitches, if it's over 500 stitches, I'm just going to do the words. I'm going to get it all done, no matter what. If it doesn't make it to 500 stitches, I'm just going to start stitching the boxes. not what's in the box, but just get a bunch of the boxes stitched to 500, or to round up a box if it's past 500. Like if I get a box half done at 500, I'm going to finish the box. So that is this month. That is a definite. If I get through those and I have some more time left, because I have a little over 2 weeks off. We don't go back to work until January the 3rd. I would like to stitch some of these. I want to do some winter ones. So snow sampler. This was a start last December. This is done on a 28 count linen from a craft store. When I say craft store, you know, it's like DMC, or what else do they sell? Whatever, I don't know what all they sell, you know, all kinds of loops and threads and whoever else sells at craft stores, Michael's, Joann Fabrics. Then I want to stitch on this drawn, the drawn thread, Welcome Winter. This was a December 2021 start. It calls for a 30 count lamb's wool linen. I chose a 28 count lamb's wool even weave. And that's as far as I got in December. December, every time I stitched, I picked something up that I had fully kitted and did a new start just for that day. And then I stitch again maybe the next day or maybe 3 days later, and I would pick up a new start again. Now this one is not a new start. This is upside down again. This is Santa and the Bear. It came out of one of those Christmas books that you get every year. I can't remember if they're called Keepsake. Maybe not. I don't remember. If you want information on it, you can just ask me below and I'll get it to you. I am stitching this on the called for 25 count navy blue. This was on my WhipGo board 3 times, I believe. And due to that, I got the bear completely stitched. So what I would like to do, if nothing else, if I only have a little bit of time to stitch on this, because I didn't stitch for the first 9 days of this month. If nothing else, I would like to at least get the back stitch done on the ears, the face, all that area, the necklace. I would love to be able to get into the sack, toy sack, but if not, I want to at least get all this back stitched. That's really going to make his face more, what do I want to say? Just more complete, you know? You know what I'm saying? You know how back stitch is. It's going to define his face. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. All right. And these are a definite. So those few little winter ones are ones I hope to get to. But these, the WhipGo ones are definite. And then these are. Because I went this whole year and I know I started one project. But I'm sure that's it, but I may have started another one. But I don't think I did, the more I think about it. But I got a bunch of stuff done. So, I'm going to celebrate. What better way to celebrate, right? Than a new start, or 2, or 3. Don't ask me why, but it's going to be fun when I do it, right? I'm going to enjoy every stitch. So, Christmas Eve, I will celebrate Christmas Eve with a new start. Something that I have been saying I was going to start for the last umpteenth years, and that is a Haid. So I am doing the mini book of dog talk because he looks like my Louie. Right, Louie? He's sleeping. This is where I could use your help. If you have done a Haid and you have stitched 25 count, would you tell me, did you do 1/1? Now remember, this is a mini. I decided to pick 25 count. I have done a full coverage on an 18 count, and I did it with 2 threads, and that was a bad call. It turned out fine, but it was really hard to get the stitches to lay nice on that piece. I really had to work at it. So I wanted to do 25 count. I'm doing mushroom Lugana because the chart is dark and I didn't want white to show through. So my question is, would you do that? I think I have plenty of fabric. I think. But what I was thinking about doing is 1/1. Would you agree? Would 1/1 be good on a mini Haid with 25 count? I think I'm going to do a few stitches if I don't get an answer and just see. But I think, if I remember right, Pam from Pam's Crafty Corner was doing a Haid 25 count 1/1. But I don't know if it was a mini. That's the thing. I don't remember. So that is a must on Christmas Eve. And Christmas Day, I'm going to restart 12 Days of Christmas. Christmas Eve, I don't know how much work I'll get done on there. I probably will get most of my work done in the morning because Christmas Eve is when I celebrate Christmas with my boys and daughter-in-laws. And my youngest is coming over. So, and we used to do one tradition. We used to do finger foods that my mother-in-law started so that when everybody dispersed to the in-laws on Christmas Day, and they had the traditional turkey or ham or whatever, you weren't having it 2 days in a row. Well, my kids are sensitive. My oldest and his wife are sensitive to dairy, not my youngest. And that rules out a lot of the finger foods we would do. We used to do fondue, cheese fondue. And that's not going to work. And we would do like, Reubens, and that's Swiss cheese. So I told my kids, let's do something different this year. So last year we started a new tradition and we do Middle Eastern food. Because Stephen was saying, well, Jesus was born in the Middle East, right? He was born a Jew. So he goes, we should do a Middle Eastern type of food. He was deployed to Afghanistan. He kind of knows what it was. And so that's what we do. Now, I just do a rice and chicken dish. You can do it lamb, but lamb here is very, very expensive. Like, they'll get a small piece and enjoy it. I bought them some ground lamb because I found it on sale. It was organic, and they ate it. My daughter-in-law, I think, made a lamb pie. They ate it up. But for a big dish, it's kind of expensive. And he says, yeah, they do chicken. It's okay. So I'm doing that, and I'm doing the cooking for the most part. I make this cilantro dipping sauce, and I do the naan bread, and I have a recipe on how to do it without dairy, and you can't tell the difference. So I'll be cooking all of that, but I love to cook. So I'll probably be starting in the early afternoon for everything. So I'll probably start that Haid in the morning. And maybe a little bit in the evening when everything is all done and put away and my youngest goes home. But it's just a start. Haid start on Christmas Eve. The 12 days of Christmas on Christmas Day. And then I got another week and a couple of days off after that. We don't start. Did I tell you we start school January the 3rd? So I have plenty of time to bring it back out and stitch some more. Those are just my new start days. That's all. Then, what is left? New Year's Eve is going to be the start. I still need to grab some fabric for it. I'll probably stitch it on white. Amy from Amy Loves Toads just completed this. She did it as one piece. So she did it 25 count over one over one, I believe. I am doing them individual and turning them into little pillows. And 1 over 1 is pretty tiny when you're going to finish it into a pillow. So it may be 2 over 2. 28 count. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I gotta go to a craft store and get everything I need. So, those are my starts. That's what I'm working on for the month of December. Now, I wanted to show you a couple of things real quick. I'm not going to show you everything, but, oh, it's my manager. Okay, I better check this in a second. I wanted to show you what I was doing during the 2 years that I had off. There was months and months that I wasn't stitching at all because I was just so exhausted with work. And I still wanted to be involved in my stitching and something I had been wanting to start. I wanted to start working on, so that's when I did it. And very thrilled about it. This is my box of fully kitted projects. So when I have stuff that is a whole bunch of smalls in a series, I just put them in one of these bags. I leave them in there. And then I have them in here. And then the one that I want to work on, I put all the floss in here. This is that Snow Village. I showed you my full finish there on the blue. And this is the one that I want to start next. And that's what lets me know. And then I got the small amount of floss it calls for, the fancy floss. And I just keep that in here because that's for all the kits. So when this is done, I do keep the chart with the other ones so they don't get lost. But the fabric not in here will be the indication that I stitched it. And then I will take another one out of the bag and I will fully kit the floss, DMC floss for it, and do the same thing. So I will know what the next one is I want to stitch on. So I do leave those in here. This I just, like yesterday, finished fully kitting. The floss is in between here. So I will be taking it out of the bag. This is the same thing. I just fully finished this yesterday. What I do, and I'll take them out of the bags, because what I do is when I fully kit something, I put them in these bags that I bought from Amazon. And I got 100 of them, I believe it was. I think there's 100 in here. And I still got a ton left. I put the chart after I print it off. And then I stick everything in here. Because I've got a lot of charts. And I still got a lot of charts to print off too. I have more charts than I need. I don't want to own like 1,000 of these. I really don't. I don't want to do that. So I just stick them in here because these are really cheap. I just need to take those out now that I'm done. But like I said, if they're small little charts and there's a whole series, I will keep them in these, even if they're fully kitted. So like this one, I had Crazy Annie send me this every season that it came out with the fabric. Kathy Haberman just did it in DMC, and so I kitted them up, and it just stays in the bag that it came in. So this thing is just absolutely just full of them. I mean, it's fabric that I've already had in my stash. It's all ready. So that's what I did. And then I have a box. I'm going to toss this. Then I have a big craft box that is full of partially kitted projects. I am not in a hurry to fully kit them. I have more whips and those few starts that hollow starts, or not starts, but kitted projects. I have enough for like a while. But as I finish something off, like broom closet, I will pull out the floss. I have all my partially kitted projects in my phone listed under its name, all the flosses that is missing. I will pull those out for like this. I will pull up that list and I will see, okay, does this color, is it called for in any of those partially kitted projects? If it is, then I will put it in that bag and delete that number off the list. The next thing I know, I have a fully kitted project, and I didn't go to the craft store and buy more floss, because holy smokes, if I pull all my DMC, just my DMC out only, and I put it on the floor, I would have a mound. The only DMC I'm going out to buy right now is for that Haid, because it calls for a lot. I'm not doing that any more than that, because I've got a lot in these whips that I want to get finished up, so I can fully finish them and I can, you know, look at them all the time for that season. So that is what I was doing. So even though I was not stitching for like months because I was just so tired and getting burnt out with work, not cross stitch, just work, I still stayed active in my cross stitch. So that is what I was doing. Just a little side note, but these are great. These are great. Love them. They have gone up a little bit in price, but it beats buying all those other bags. Those other bags are for the craft, or for my whips, you know. Or all my partially kitted projects are in those. That's how I keep them separate. So like I said, as soon as I'm done fully kitting it, I take it out of those bags and I stuff them in these bags, and it keeps them separated. So if that came out of the bag for some reason, I don't know why, then I would know, oh, it's in one of these. That means it's fully kitted. I already know. Unless they're small charts. But I usually don't take them out of the bag. All right, so not this one. Not that one. Just wanted to show you some of my charts I've bought that I just recently printed off of my computer. Just run through them real quick, and then I'm going to end this video. So here's Tiny Modernist. I need to get all of these. I have all the cottages. You may have seen this from a long time ago. I don't remember when I bought them. And the cottage looks the same. But I think I got this off of Stony Creek. It's just that the scene looks different. Hirschnerves.com. Oh, that's the fabric. I don't know. It doesn't say. I think it was from Stony Creek. Oh, yeah. Here, I thought I put them all in one bag, but I didn't. And there's the autumn. Usually I keep them all in one bag, and that's the winter. So it's the same house, just in different scenes. Here's the fall that I have to do. I bought this one. I've had this one for a long time. I would really love to stitch this one. You know, I've had this one for a long time. That one needs to be stitched and put in my bathroom. I've gotten a few charts here that they actually don't have a picture. They just have from Etsy, they just have the, I think the chart itself. I purchased this one. I can't wait to do that. That was when my ink was running low. And I just recently, like a month ago, got this one. It's not a heart anchor. And I got a bunch of these. I just don't have them all printed off yet. Isn't that cute? I got all the seasons for that one. And then I just recently got this one. Cross My Stitches is doing this one. Where I found it. This one here is the Russian one, I think. But it was a kit, but someone was selling the design itself. And then I got this. I just love that. I mean, the detail on that is insane. And I have a couple of these. I have the spring. This is the autumn. I need to get the other two. And then I just recently purchased this one because I just fell in love with it. It is a full coverage. Even the background sky is stitched. And I've purchased many more that I haven't printed off yet. So, that's my stuff. That's it. I am going to go because my manager is trying to get hold of me. And it's getting late, so I better get going on that and get going on stitching. So I'm going to go. I am going to do a quick video of that piece over there, and I'm going to upload this so you can see it and see that I am sticking it out and I am staying with my videos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving last month, if you all who all celebrated. If not, I hope you've at least been having a great stitchy time, and I hope the weather has been kind to you. They say it's going to snow during my winter break, but that's still too early to see. We'll see. I do know we're going to get a bunch of rain, but we have had snow a couple of times, but it didn't stick. So it hasn't been bad, but it's going to get really cold here. So yeah, I hope everyone is having a safe almost winter, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas and winter break. I am going to try and come back during my winter break and do a whip parade, because I'm noticing a lot of people are doing those, so I think I will do that, and then tell you and show you what my plans will be for 2023. So I'm off of here. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Please leave any comments below if you have any questions. I'd love to hear them. I'll answer the best I can. And I will speak to all of you later. Bye, everyone. All right, here is my piece that I finished. I was telling you about. It looks a little crooked. Yeah, my stuff just gets crooked. I always set it up straight, and then when I hot glue and lay it down, yeah, it ends up looking crooked. And I don't know. I think it's because I do the stripes and blocks, and I should just do plain old flat colors and nothing else. And then it'll look better. But it's cute, and I'm fine with that. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep that little tree there or if I want to put it down at the bottom. I'm unsure. I do think the tree itself is really cute with this project, given that the color matched up with the fabric I had. The little bush here that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's two different pieces that I put together, and I left a stem on this one because it just made it look like a tree, and there were trees in there. I I like it, so that's what matters, right? And then when I was at Hobby Lobby, I got all of those. The autumn ones were 90% off, and a couple of Christmas ones were 60% off. And this is by far my favorite. Isn't that so pretty? I don't know what I'll use it on, but I had to get it. That's where I put all my floss when it comes in the mail or when I'm done with a project, and I sort through it. And this I got for a coworker for Christmas. If you haven't seen it, got it at Hobby Lobby. Look at that. Is that not the cutest thing ever? I love it. I think it's super cute. She's got several of those lanterns that are out all year, but I don't think they look like those. So anyway, that's it. And I am off of here. We will see you in maybe about a week and a half or so with a whip update. Talk to you later. Bye.